We're so back, baby. We are so back, ladies and gentlemen. Do you smell that? Pull out your inner rock right now. If you smell, do you smell that? When you go outside, do you feel it in the air? That smell, that feeling that I'm talking about right now, that's football, baby. That is football, baby. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to talk Detroit Lions football and the 2025 NFL season. In this video, let's talk about how I, as a Lions fan, am feeling going into the 2025 Detroit Lions season. Let's do it. But first of all, I do have some housekeeping notes I need to take care of. Very quick, I promise. First and foremost, I want to show some love to the sponsor of this video. This video is sponsored by Michigan-based Roast Summer Coffee. They've got hot coffee, cold brews, chocolate, all kinds of great drinks and treats for you to try and enjoy. Visit their website, roastsummer.com. Link is in the description below. If you find something that you want to try and make an order, you can always save some money on that order by using my code, TonyD. Shout out to Roast Summer. Thank you once again to them for sponsoring this video. And also, lastly, if you all do me a favor, leave a like on this one and hit a JMO Selly on the subscribe button too. I very much appreciate it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be no shortage of Lions content on my channel this season. Most notably, as always, we're going to have post-game reaction videos following every Lions game this season. I'm excited to be doing those once again this season. This is going to be my... Let's do the math. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Jeez. This is going to be my ninth. Is that right? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is going to be my ninth season doing Lions post-game videos. Where's the time going, man? Time flies when you're having fun. Especially recently. More so recently. But, yeah, man, this is going to be my ninth season doing Detroit Lions post-game videos. Wow, I didn't realize it was 9 years. Cool, we're almost reaching the 10-year anniversary of Tony D. How about that? But, yeah, the point here, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a ton of Lions content on the page this season, most notably Lions post-game reaction videos. So, yeah, if you're new around here and you're looking forward to the Tony D Lions coverage this football season, hit that subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. Alright, that takes care of my quick housekeeping. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that it would be quick. Let's now get to the meat of the video, the point of the video. Again, how am I, as a Lions fan, feeling about the Detroit Lions going into the 2025 NFL season? I'm going to be honest with you. Alright? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm never coming in front of this camera and lie to you. I'm always honest with you. You're always honest with me in the comments or whatever, you know? I'm being honest here. As a Lions fan going into this 2025 NFL season, I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little terrified. I am a little terrified as a Lions fan going to this Detroit Lions 2025 season. Why am I terrified? Now listen, this is not me saying I'm picking the Lions to miss the playoffs and we're going to suck again and like this is just going to be a bad season or whatever, you know. I'm not sitting here saying the Lions aren't still going to be really good and, you know, be a threat in the North, in the NFC, and the NFL as a whole, you know. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the reasons I am a little terrified going into this season. You know, there are a lot of things going into this season that are going against the Lions. I'm not saying I agree with this, but there are reasons why a lot of people are betting against the Lions to not make the playoffs this season. Again, I'm not saying I agree with that, but there are reasons why that is the case. There are reasons why I am a little terrified going into this Lions season. First of all, we did lose both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Those are going to be two obviously major losses, which, you know, following the playoff loss last year against Washington, we as Lion fans knew we were going to lose both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, but It still didn't make it hurt any less to lose both of them. I'm wishing nothing but the best for Aaron Glenn in New York, Ben Johnson in Chicago. Yeah. Yeah, but beside the point, man. We were expecting it, but it still hurts to lose both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Those are going to be two major losses for the Lions this season. And it wasn't even just them. They both took a lot of guys on our coaching staff with them. This Detroit Lions coaching staff got gutted this past offseason. A lot of guys went with Ben in Chicago. A lot of guys went with New York with Aaron Glenn. Yeah, man, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and a lot of coaching members are gone. That hurts. And we lost a lot of players as well. Both coaching-wise and player-wise, we lost some big-time names. From a player standpoint, none of them gets bigger than Frank Ragnow. It still breaks my heart. I know I'm not alone when I say that. A lot of Lion fans' hearts were broken to see Frank Ragnow retire, but at the same time, listen, as long as he's happy in retirement with his family, as long as he's healthy, that's what matters most. But yeah, from a football standpoint, it sucks that Frank Ragnow retired. He was a major loss. Losing Kevin Zeitler to Tennessee, right? Regardless, losing Kevin Zeitler, losing C3 to the Patriots. Player-wise, coaching-wise, we lost a lot of pieces this offseason. Big pieces, too. So there's that. You also have to mention that we are in the toughest division of football. I mean, as we all know, it was a war to win the NFC North last season. It came down to the last game of the entire NFL regular season just to win the NFC North, man. It was a war last season in the North, and that's going to be the case again this season, if not more. It was tough last season to win the North. It is going to be so much tougher this season. The Vikings, I don't think, are going anywhere, even with J.J. McCarthy, a rookie at quarterback. The Packers just traded for Micah Parsons, bro. Leave it to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys to just... Thank goodness we're not in Dallas, because I'd be losing my mind right now over the fact that the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons. But we're not in Dallas, we're in Detroit. The Packers just added Micah Parsons. They're going to be really good this season. And the Bears, I don't know if I believe necessarily the people who say the Bears are going to be a legit player in the North like we are, like Minnesota, like Green Bay. Maybe there's a little bit of bias in that because I so badly want to see Ben Johnson and the Bears stink. That plays a role in it, but at the same time, I still don't know if I really believe that the Bears are going to be that much better, but at the same time, the Bears are probably going to be a lot better. I mean, they did just add the big fish on the coaching market this past offseason in Ben Johnson. They still have a really talented offense. They still do have Caleb Williams, who, say what you want about him, but, there is still a lot of talent there with Caleb Williams. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? This is all to say, ladies and gentlemen, you've got us, you've got Minnesota, you've got Green Bay. They're all going to be really good. You've got Chicago, who we'll see whether or not they're going to be in that same clump, that same pack, if you will, with us, Minnesota, Green Bay. But they're probably going to be a lot better than what we have seen in previous years, We'll see. This is all to say, ladies and gentlemen, the North is going to be tough. It was a war last season. It was tough last year. It's going to be even tougher this year. We also have a brutal schedule. Absolutely brutal. I remember when we first learned about who our opponents were going to be for 2025. Not like the schedule release, but like when we found out the teams were playing in 2025, I remember when that first came out, and I remember a lot of the people, myself included, were like, oh my, that is a tough schedule. Yeah, man, our schedule this season is not easy whatsoever. And then the last thing I'll mention here is the fact that the injury fear is always going to be in the back of my head as a Lions fan. I am always going to be, after last season, I am always going to be terrified about injuries. Now, knock on wood. My desk is wood. I'm knocking on it as we speak. Knock on wood. please don't let it get that bad ever again. If you hear me, please do not let it get that bad ever again. I mean, there's no way, right? There is no way we ever see anything like that ever again. I mean, as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, guys were just going down like flies. They were just dropping every play, it felt like, key guy after key guy after key guy, particularly on defense. There's no way it gets that bad ever again, right? I'm hoping. We're all hoping as Lion fans. And that injury fear, as I said, it's always going to be in the back of my mind because last season scarred me so much as a Lions fan. It's not even just for the Lions, for all of my teams, all of our teams, the Tigers, the Pistons, the Red Wings. As a Detroit sports fan for the rest of my life, I'm always going to be scared about a season, a great season, getting derailed by injuries after what happened to the 2024 Lions. So yeah, that fear is always going to be in the back of my head as well. Those were all my fears as a Lions fan going into this season. The fact that we lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn and a lot of coaching staff members and a lot of key players and pieces to this football team. We lost a lot of people overall in general, both coaching-wise and player-wise. Tough NFC North. It only got tougher with the news about Micah Parsons going to the Packers. Tough schedule. The injury fear is always going to scare me. Yeah, man, as a Lions fan going to this season, I do have a lot of fears. I am a little terrified going to this 2025 season. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, with all that said, even though that's all true, whenever I feel scared and nervous, maybe that's a better word, nervous. Whenever I feel nervous as a Lions fan going to the season, I just get up, go to the bathroom, turn the sink on, get some cold water, splash myself in the face with it, smack my face a little bit, look in the mirror and go, Tony, lock in, dude. Lock in as a Lions fan because this is still the Detroit Lions we're talking about here. While that is all true, all the fears I have are real, this is still the Detroit Lions we're talking about, man. This is still Motor City Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions that we're talking about here. I'll start with that. I don't care if we lost Ben Johnson. I don't care if we lost Aaron Glenn and a bunch of coaching staff members. Specifically with the coaching staff, we can lose whoever. As long as we have MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell, I'm good. As we all know, ladies and gentlemen, MCDC, what's that saying? The straw that stirs the drink? Is that the saying? I don't know. I hope you know what I'm trying to say here. As long as we have MCDC, because he is the main guy, he is the head coach of this football team, as long as we have him, I'm going to be okay. All right? So you have to remember, even though there might be some concerns going into the season as a Lions fan, we still have MCDC. We lost a lot of coaches this past offseason, but we didn't lose the most important one, Motor City Dan Campbell. We still have MCDC on this football team leading the way. So there's that, and there's also the fact that it's like, Tony, yes, your concerns are real, but this team is still loaded. This team is still really talented and really freaking good. We're still going to be really good this season, man. I mean, offensively, defensively, even special teams like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, since they got here, have built a legitimate threat in the North, the NFC, and in the entire NFL, man. This team is loaded. We are so talented. Offensively, we still have QB1, JG16, Jared Goff. We still have Jared Goff as our QB1, man. We still have Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. J-Mo, who is going to have a big year. Speaking of J-Mo and even going back to Ben Johnson, losing Ben Johnson is going to hurt. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing I'm looking forward to seeing with our new OC, Johnny Morin, is how he utilizes Jameson Williams. That was maybe our biggest problem with Ben Johnson. J-Mo under Ben Johnson, it just didn't feel like Ben got everything out of J-Mo, if that makes sense. It kind of feels like there's still a big part of J-Mo that needs to be unlocked. That was never unlocked with Ben Johnson. I'm excited to see if Johnny Moore is going to unlock that version of J-Mo that we all know is coming. We are all excited as Lion fans to see what J-Mo is going to do this season in this offense with Johnny Moore in. Man, I'm telling you, every Lions fan is telling you J-Mo is going to have a big season when Johnny Morton unlocks Jameson Williams. J-Mo's going to have a big year. I can't wait. Speaking of wide receivers that are going to have a big year, Isaac Tesla, a rookie out of Arkansas, he is also going to have a big season. I feel that. Every Lions fan feels that. The Lions feel that too. By the Lions trading Tim Patrick, which, by the way, I wish nothing but the best for Tim Patrick with Jacksonville. I loved Tim Patrick last season. Such a great story. He was a key piece of this football team, this offense in 2024. Tim Patrick, I'm always going to be a fan of him. I wish him nothing but the best with the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the point I'm making here, the Lions trading Tim Patrick to the Jaguars. That tells you everything you need to know about what they think of Isaac Tesla. He is going to have a big season. We as Lion fans feel it, and the Lions themselves feel that. Isaac Tesla, learn the name, remember it. He as a rookie is going to have a big season for this football team. Tight end, Sam Laporta. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in year number 3. And then the offensive line, given losing Frank Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler, Frank Ragnow specifically, a huge piece to be missing. But I still feel like this is going to be a good offensive line unit in 2025. Taylor Decker, Christian Mahogany, Graham Glasgow. Hopefully he can bounce back and have a better season at center. Tate Ratledge, another rookie that we are excited for as Lion fans. And then Penei Sewell. I still think that is going to be a good offensive line unit for this football team in 2025. I'm excited for how our offense is going to look in 2025 with our new OC, Johnny Morton, and I feel the same exact way about our defense with our new OC, Shep. I am excited for this Detroit Lions defense in 2025, and the reason that makes me so excited about our defense in 2025 is the fact that we have Aiden Hutchinson back. Hutch is back, and he is coming for blood, ladies and gentlemen. He was going to win Defensive Player of the Year last season, if not for the injury. I'm calling it right now. We are calling it right now as Detroit fans. Aiden Hutchinson is coming for blood, and he is going to win Defensive Player of the Year in 2025. Look out. Hutch is back, and he is going to have a monstrous 2025 season. I cannot wait. On the opposite of Hutch, hopefully, fingers crossed, Marcus Davenport stays healthy, because if he does, the Lions love him. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, the Lions love him. If Marcus Davenport is healthy, I personally feel like he can be a good number 2 opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. We'll see. Again, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that he stays healthy. But yeah, if Marcus Davenport's healthy, I'm excited to see what he's going to do opposite of Hutch in 2025. And you never know what else could happen with the Lions pass rush, maybe going into the season and throughout the season. Is there another guy the Lions are going to go get on the free agent market? I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to name names, but we're all thinking the same player here. Sorry, I have to sneeze. My apologies. Zadarius Smith. Oh, man, excuse me. I had to sneeze there. Whew. But yeah, I'm not going to name names, but we're all thinking the same player that might be able to help out this Lions pass rush. Hopefully, I would love to see it. We would all love to see it. We'll see what ends up happening. At D tackle, until Lee McNeil comes back, we've got DJ Reader in our first round pick, Tyleek Williams. I'm excited for Williams. I remember when we drafted him, there are a lot of people comparing him to Lee McNeil himself. That's exciting for sure. Linebacking core. I'm excited about our linebacking core too. Shep, our new DC, former linebacker. Because of that, I am expecting big things from our linebacking group this season. Thor, especially Jack Campbell, and Derek Barnes too. I'm excited to have Derek Barnes back on this football team. Those three, I'm expecting big things from them in 2025. And we're eventually going to get Rodrigo back this season as well. Again, I'm expecting big things from our linebacking group in 2025. And then the secondary. Our secondary is low-key nasty, man. At corner, DJ Reed, massive pickup this past offseason from the New York Jets. You're number 2 of TA. You're number 2 in Alliance uniform for Amik Robertson. You can't bury what comes from the dirt. I'm excited for those 3 at corner. And then safety-wise, you got Zuberman and Batman, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. I'm excited to see another season of the best safety duo in the National Football League. Again, man, our secondary is low-key nasty. I can't wait to see what those 5 do on our defense this 2025 season. And then special teams-wise, we have the best punter in football in Jack Fox, the best kicker in football in Jake Bates. Man, offensively, defensively, special teams-wise, this team is still loaded. Again, ladies and gentlemen, while my concerns and my fears for this team going into the season are real, we still have MCDC leading the ship, the straw that stirs the drink. And this team is still really freaking good offensively, defensively, special teams-wise, man. I might be scared, but I'm also confident in this Detroit Lions team. Yes, we lost a lot of guys coaching-wise and player-wise. Yes, it is a tough NFC North. Yes, we have a brutal schedule. Yes, I'm always concerned that injuries are going to derail our season again. But, man, we still have MCDC. This team is still loaded. I am still confident as heck in the 2025 Detroit Lions. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm expecting 15 wins again. I'm going to be real with you. Last regular season, that might be the best regular season of Detroit Lions football we may ever see in our lives as football fans, you know. I'm not expecting 15 wins again, but I think it's fair to say, 10, 11, 12, 13, something in that range, I think that is fair to expect. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, my prediction going to the 2025 season for the Lions, 11 wins. I am predicting 11 wins for this football team. That's enough to win the NFC North. I am predicting a trip to the Super Bowl this season, and damn it, I am predicting a Super Bowl victory for the Detroit Lions this season. I'll say it one more time. 11 wins, a third straight NFC North title, a trip to the Super Bowl, and we are winning the Super Bowl this season, baby. Everyone is counting us out going to the season. We're going to show everybody who we are. We are going to once again show everyone who we are. Everyone's sleeping on us? That's perfect. The fact that there are people maybe concerned going to this season, the fact that I have fears going to this season, that's perfect. It's almost like we're the underdogs again. That is perfect. Sleep on us, ladies and gentlemen. Have those fears, Tony. Have those fears. Other people who are betting on the Lions to miss the playoffs, I dare you to bet on the Lions to miss the playoffs. That's exactly what we want. It's almost like we're the underdog again, baby. We are going to show everybody who we are. And who we are the effing Detroit Lions, man. MCDC's Detroit Lions. Man, I'm excited. I may have some fears, but I am excited for the 2025 Detroit Lions season. All right, I'm fired up now. I'm ready to run through this wall behind me, man. I'm ready to run through this wall behind me. But yeah, with that, that's all I got for you this one, ladies and gentlemen. There are my thoughts as a Lions fan heading into the Detroit Lions 2025 season. I hope you all enjoyed. I thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. As I mentioned earlier in the video, leave a like on this one. And please hit the JMoselli on the subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video. Unless there's some kind of breaking news or anything. Maybe a free agent signing. If anything doesn't happen, I'll see you for week 1 in Lambeau against the Green Bay Packers, who, again, just traded for Micah Parsons. Ugh. It's gonna be an interesting season, man. It's going to be a really interesting season. So enjoy the final few days of summer and get ready for the next number of months of your mental health and stress levels being just consumed by Detroit Lions football and Tigers postseason baseball too. Oh man, this is going to be an interesting few months for me. I'm going to be so stressed out, and I am here for it, baby. Alright, yeah, that's all I got for this one. Again, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. I appreciate it. I love you all. See you in the next video. Until then, as always, go Lions, baby.